Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It is the man in black himself, the werewolf, the bad wolf. And you are all wonderful people, all right? All of you. Doesn't even matter. Why? Because we're all just here doing the best we can as people on a journey of life experience and doing the best that we can every day. So take time to appreciate yourself and everything that you're doing, everything you've been through, and that you survived. And remember to always stay positive as much as possible. All right, with that being said, once again, thank you to all the people out there who support. This particular video is going to be about the change, okay? So it's not going to be a terribly long video, but before we get to it, once again, if you guys are out there struggling, look for programs in your area, from your city, your county, your state. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people not to renounce their 14th Amendment citizenship, because you are in fact entitled to these benefits and privileges that the system does provide. And sometimes you need them. Now, in the old days, it used to be the church that you could turn to and they would, give out some money and whatever else. I haven't heard of them doing too much of that. And well, if you know about Mr. Olstein, what he did during the whole whatever, we'll just leave that alone. You know that there are some false prophets and people out there. Okay. Some wolves in sheep clothing. Actually, more like demons, if you really want to ask me. But so anyway, so we've noticed that some places, some institutions, some municipalities, governmental agencies, if you will, have been slowly trying to convert from using the all caps name and going to the upper and lowercase name. Now, we know that they're not bold enough to go all the way down to the uncapitalized name, which means that you are no longer capital and you're not capitalized upon. So the upper and lower is still capitis medius, capitis dimutio medius, or upper and lower case, which the upper case represents being capitalized or being capital. And if you are being capitalized, it means either they're making money on you or you are a slave, okay, with loss of certain freedoms and rights and even the family name. And all of this can be backed up in Black Law's dictionary under capitalization, capitalize, capitis dimutio maxima. Look it up for yourself. Now, what's amazing to me is that the board members on top of all of this shenanigans, I'm highly suspicious that they have not caught wind of what these agencies are doing and preventing them from doing what they're doing. Because in order to have a formal agreement, you have to have, jurisdiction and all that over the legal person, which is then a mask for the living person. So either the powers that be, the people on top who run and orchestrate puppet show, everything that's going on, whoever they may be. So either they're like, yeah, let's start to convert things over. People are catching on. Now, the reason why these courts and tickets and whatever else they're starting to change is because as we move, they move. So now that so many people are starting to know about that, they want to try to cut that off at the pass. Well, the problem is that the fact still remains the same. But okay. So now they want to be able to say, hey, look, you people out there, just because you're capitis dimutio maxima, you know what's going on. We're going to go to the lower level. Well, okay. Well, the same rules apply. That's still a legal person. You've taken our names, or the name, the given name, and converted it into a legal entity to which you still have jurisdiction over. Fair enough. So this is why, and I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube talking about this. So once again, we're bringing it to you here first, and we've already done it, doing it, and going to continue to do it, is that you don't get rid of your legal person, but merely you use it when you see fit. Now, understand, like so many people out there, like I got some emails today from a person by the name of Lori and one by the name of, it was Dan or something like that. You guys are messaging me going, hey, I was speeding and I got pulled over. They gave me a ticket. Help. I'm not here for that. Not to be rude, but you're speeding. Two, even with her, you're not doing all the steps. So you're half stepping, as we call it. And so you're mixing the jurisdictions. So yeah, you're confusing the cops and it aggravates them. And I'd be aggravated too if some girl's like, I love you, but I can't be with you. Okay. That's confusing. So you have to do all of the steps properly to be private. And when you do private, and this is the part that nobody else is really talking about. Everyone out there is like, oh, take back your name and pull it out of the public. Yeah, good luck with that. These people are not going to close all of your accounts because they make money on them. So what you have to do is create a private side. And for those trolls and people out there, oh, you guys are talking like some of them sovereign citizens and stuff. Okay, so are wealthy people sovereign citizens? Now, don't make any misunderstanding. The Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, all talk about the people are governed by their consent. Because in the private, we are the boss. This is us in the private. The systems, you guys work with dead entities, legal persons, in all caps or upper and lowercase lettering. Look it up in Black Law's Dictionary if you don't believe me. Capitis Dimutio Maxima. Okay? Because you know what? All the courts operate on these books. Yes, I have all your books. Okay? That's a jurisdiction. Matter of fact, that's not even created by an American. It's not an American created, maintained book. I've proven that in other videos. So with that being said, you want to create a private side because wealthy people move in trusts. Okay, but they move in private trusts. That's not being a sovereign citizen. That is being a person who is going back to their private side. Every part of every governmental agency out there, if you read their codes, their objectives, you find out where do they get their power to do what they're doing from. It says they are to govern over commerce, which is commercial, and they are to supervise over the public. So if you're in your vehicle with their plates on and you haven't done all the steps correctly, then yeah, you're mixing the two, and by lowest common denominator, in for a penny, in for a pound. So yeah, you're mixing, and that's why people get called the sovereign word, which there is no legal term. They cannot charge you under being a sovereign citizen. Even calling somebody that is defamation of character and suable in the federal and Supreme Courts. But you don't even need to do all that as long as you create your private side. All right. So that's it. Not that hard. Create a private entity. Create a private trust. Operate underneath that name. Create your private non-resident ID. File with the state as a non-resident. Every state has a non-resident form. Well, but it says if I'm a resident and I've lived in the area, if you're a resident using their zip code, okay, and you remember at one point in time here, before you trolls even start, even you trolls have to admit this, okay? Did they not ask you at one point in time to prove residency? Right? Okay, so that means you can live in the area and not be a resident until you elect to be a resident. And how did you do that? You provided mail with your all capitalized name on there, 2-digit abbreviation on the mail, zip code. You signed up to vote. Okay, and some of you people even remember they said, oh, we can't use a certificate of live birth or the one with the baby feet print, the heirloom one. No. You got to get one from the state. So you gave your private document to the state gave you a public document, which created a legal person. It's really not that hard to understand. It's all business. I have no problem with their business. I just choose when and if I want to use it. That's all. But if you don't know what's going on, it'd be like me starting a business literally right now with my name, James C. Lovett, in all capitalized letters. What would be the difference? Well, they're like, oh, well, but that's a business. Yeah, because it's my name in all capitalized letters. It was issued from the state. So is your birth certificate. So is your name on all these things. So when the courts are trying, or the people writing tickets are trying to give you a ticket in your name in upper and lowercase lettering to revert from the all uppercase, they're still trying to say, well, see that one little letter there that gives us jurisdiction. You didn't disagree that that's you. Okay. So that is the game. That is it. But don't believe me. Go and vet your own information. I'm just your favorite neighborhood wolfman in the lack of fur at the moment. So unless you want me to wolf out. All right, but seriously, go vet your own information. Learn. Don't just do something because somebody told you on YouTube to do it. As always, guys, this is education and entertainment, and do your own vetting of the information. And just because I have like 1,000 videos right now and all this information, and it is all legal and it's lawful. There's nothing illegal or immoral about anything that we do here. We're not doing any funky processes. We ain't doing that. That's why people get into trouble. All right. So you don't have to do every single thing that's mentioned out here. This is just for you to know about. And if you choose to do a process or something and take it further, none of the stuff, nothing here has gotten anybody into trouble other than when somebody didn't do all the steps. Oh yeah, I just took the plates off my car and I started traveling. Yeah, no. There's a reason. That's like, yeah, I started to buy a car, put some money down, and then, but yeah, I didn't make any more payments. So now they took my money and I don't have the car. Yeah, because you're not doing the obligation. Either you're all in or you're all out. You can't be on the border. It's like people coming from another country to here, they cross over, that you don't see them standing on the border. Hey, look, I'm both right now. No, you can't do that. All right. So that's why they're giving you guys hard times. That's why anybody, and as well they should. I'll be the first person to admit years ago when we first started doing some of the stuff, even though the governments and the states, don't forget about this, guys. Because this is where everybody gets their power from, the people. And we're going to make a video on that coming up soon. So everybody was talking about, what do you mean we the people? We the people is where the power comes from. The governments got their power from the people, and the people chose to be governed, but it's with their consent. You can't control the private. The private is the boss. Private person is the boss. But when you become a public entity or a legal person in the same jurisdiction, then you have switched hats. And so, yeah, a lot of you guys are not operating correctly in the private. You're still holding on to stuff. Have your public side and name. Now that it's been tainted, let the baby have their bottle. Create a private thing. Wealthy people all travel, at least the knowledgeable ones, with trusts. And they're private. So if you're not going to get it right, then you're going to get left. That is it, guys. Take care. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe if you see anybody using any of my information or likenesses, logos, or whatever else in any kind of negative, derogatory, defamatory way. Hit that button up there to report them in the video. Otherwise, if you just want to use it and give positive, thoughts on it, so be it. Fair use, as they say. Unless you're making some money off of it, then you better kick it in. Otherwise, I'll report it. Otherwise, take care. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Be safe, be smart, wise, woke, and aware. I'll talk to you guys later.